Good afternoon. I am so pleased to be back here. It is an honor and a pleasure, and I wish I wasn't fighting some kind of strange microbe that the French people gave me last week. I think they put it in one of those pastries. I was lecturing all over France last week, including on the Rendlesham Forest case, and it was a wonderful reminder of how universal we all are when it comes down to our serious interest in this. And when I say we, I mean that small cadre of human beings that takes this subject as seriously as those of us in this room do tonight. I'm going to try to do something tonight that's a real challenge. I have a certain amount of time to try to, why don't I work from my notes? That might actually make more sense. I am going to ask you to indulge me because I'm going to, I think, sit through a lot of this. I'm just kind of knocked out. But I feel a lot of energy and revitalized and ready to go.
Sit down, brother.
And you let me know if the sound is about right. Talking to the flower pot. Next month.
Please switch the mic off
The
there.
mic is on.
Well, there we go then. Hello. Testing, testing. Are we on?
Yeah.
25 years ago this month, I attended a UFO conference in Washington, D.C., sponsored by MUFON, the big UFO organization in the States, affiliates over here. It was a particularly important conference in that it marked the 40th anniversary of Roswell, the Kenneth Arnold sightings, and the dawn of our so-called modern era of UFO sightings. At that conference was a speaker who I had met very briefly 3 or 4 years earlier. When he had first gone public, he was the military witness who had blown the whistle on this event that my colleagues and I were getting more information on and quite intrigued by, this big UFO event that had happened in a place called Suffolk, East Anglia. And people who claim to be military witnesses in this field are more common than you'd imagine, because there is no way of absolutely proving that you have, well, in many cases there's no way of absolutely proving that you are what you say you are, or you saw what you said you saw, or you experienced what you said you experienced in the military. People need to be vetted individually. More, it's human nature, and especially guy human nature, to kind of pump yourself up a bit, and it's sort of almost akin to a sports mentality. And I had heard too many people at that point, who claimed to have been involved in or seen or whatever. I'm a good enough judge of human character. I can certainly be fooled and have. I'm sure I will be again. I have a basically trusting nature, but God help you if you cross me and I find out. I will destroy you with words. And this guy, he just radiated authenticity in a number of ways that, for me, were almost as important or more important than what he was saying. He was not able to finish his talk. Whether or not he had said things that irritated the management, which is certainly possible. Larry, every once in a while, just says something that rubs somebody the wrong way. Go figure. I met him in the hallway the following day. We chatted, and at this point, I realized I had a real motive here. I wanted to interview this guy, and I had no idea that he had an ulterior motive in agreeing. He was looking for someone to write a book with, and we decided to get together in New York City the next weekend. We did, and I got the best interview I have gotten in my life from anybody since my 12 years at that time in the field. And as Sunday late afternoon rolled around, I asked him really why he had given me that interview, permission to use all of it, not have to pay him anything, put things on the record that he had not previously, and he told me it was because he was looking for a co-writer for a book, and he thought I was the person. He had heard me speak briefly. At the conference, I was not a featured speaker, but I was on a panel discussion about alien abductions. At the time, I was already working for Bud Hopkins, a great man in this field and a good man, who we lost last year at the age of 80, and whose assistant I was on and off for about 20 years. And it's no secret.